Blackhead prevention works best when it is gentle, steady, and realistic, because blackheads usually develop slowly as oil, dead skin cells, sweat, leftover product, and ordinary daily friction collect around the opening of the pore over time. So the smartest approach is not to attack the skin, but to keep it calmer, cleaner, and less congested without creating fresh irritation. A simple routine is often more effective than an exciting one. Cleanse the face in the morning and again at night with a mild cleanser and lukewarm water, because very hot water can strip the skin barrier and leave the face feeling tight, dry, and more reactive. Use your fingertips rather than rough scrubs, abrasive washcloths, or stiff cleansing brushes, because blackhead-prone skin usually responds better to calm handling than to aggressive rubbing. If you sweat after exercise, yard work, housework, hot weather, or a long day under sunscreen and makeup, it helps to rinse or cleanse the skin as soon as practical, because sweat mixed with oil and residue can sit on the skin and add to that heavy clogged feeling. Avoid squeezing, scraping, pinching, digging, or trying to force blackheads out at home, because that often causes more redness, swelling, irritation, lingering marks, and regret than the original blackheads ever caused. Choose non-comedogenic products whenever possible, including moisturizer, sunscreen, makeup, and hair products, especially if your hair touches your forehead, temples, or cheeks. A lightweight moisturizer can help, because skin that becomes too dry often becomes irritated, and irritated skin makes people impatient, and impatient people are exactly the ones most likely to stand too close to a bathroom mirror and start making decisions they would not defend the next morning. If you use over-the-counter acne care, it is usually smarter to begin slowly with one well-chosen active ingredient, instead of layering several strong treatments at once. Salicylic acid may help keep pores clearer, and adapalene may help reduce clogged pores over time, but patience matters more than panic. Improvement usually comes from steady use over time, not from one dramatic weekend of treating your face like a chemistry experiment. Remove makeup before bed. Change pillowcases regularly. Clean the things that touch your face often, like phone screens, eyeglass frames, hat bands, and helmet straps. Keep heavier oils and styling products away from acne-prone skin when you can. Try not to rest your face in your hands for long stretches while reading, thinking, worrying, driving, scrolling, or politely listening to a story that should have ended 15 minutes ago. Stress management matters too, not because stress alone causes every blackhead, but because stress often leads to poor sleep, rushed cleansing, more face touching, more picking, skipped routines, and the kind of late-night bathroom behavior that always feels strangely productive until daylight arrives, with a very different opinion. Diet does not need to become a courtroom trial, but hydration, regular meals, moderation, and decent sleep support better daily habits overall. If blackheads are stubborn, widespread, mixed with inflamed acne, or simply not improving despite a sensible routine, professional guidance may save time and frustration. Prevention is rarely glamorous. It usually looks like repeating calm habits, reducing friction, choosing products the skin can tolerate, and remembering that steady care beats dramatic interference most of the time, and that same principle, the principle that not every little problem needs to be squeezed, overworked, argued with, or turned into a public spectacle, would have saved Bernard Bernie Holloway of Meadowbrook Terrace in Kentucky an astonishing amount of cheerful humiliation if anyone had explained it to him before the Saturday he accidentally became the emergency master of Kenneth ceremonies for the community's family fund showcase and ended up introducing a magic act, a potato salad contest, and a runaway balloon arch with the solemn urgency of a man announcing a weather emergency. Bernie was 78 years old, retired after 42 years, running a small office supply store, and so devoted to practical order that he once labeled the kitchen junk drawer in sections and then became offended when no one respected the tape lines. He lived with his wife Janice in a white duplex with green shutters, a narrow front porch, and a hallway linen closet that looked less like storage and more like a quietly enforced moral system. Janice was 75, a retired elementary school teacher with warm eyes, brisk hands, and the kind of patient humor that can keep a marriage alive through decades of watching one very decent man believe he has been personally assigned to improve all folding chair situations. Meadowbrook Terrace was the sort of retirement community where people claimed to prefer quiet afternoons and then filled every calendar square with enough activity to require a second pen. There was beanbag toss on Monday, chair yoga on Tuesday, Bible study on Wednesday, cards on Thursday, movie night on Friday, and once every summer there was the Family Fun Showcase, a fundraiser and community afternoon where grandchildren visited, neighbors performed, pets wore bow ties against their will, and every sensible boundary between dignity and entertainment was politely set aside in exchange for sheet cake and raffle tickets. Bernie disliked the showcase on principle. He did not object to joy, exactly. He objected to joy with extension cords. In his view, once a room included children, baked beans, wireless microphones, and a homemade stage, the thing should be supervised by at least 2 adults who respected cables. Janice loved it. She loved the noise, the chaos, the little acts, the badly timed applause, and the way serious people got a little silly under the excuse of helping children have fun. "It's good for everybody," she would say. Bernie would reply, "So is blood pressure medication, but you don't see me hanging streamers over it." His closest friends at Meadowbrook were Earl Simmons, 80, retired truck mechanic, hard of hearing in the way that made him miss names but always catch gossip; Doris Webb, 73, former church secretary, tidy as a pin, and about 4 times as sharp; and Walter Crenshaw, 79, widower, retired barber, owner of 2 bolo ties, and a laugh like a screen door slamming into good news. Trouble began on a Friday evening while the volunteers were setting up the clubhouse for the next day's showcase. Janice had promised to help lay out the dessert table. Bernie had only come because she said, "Carry these boxes," which sounded temporary enough to avoid suspicion. The clubhouse was already humming with the smell of punch, tape, coffee, and floral tablecloths. Children's handprint banners hung across one wall. A little stage of plywood risers stood at the front, dressed in red curtains, and one suspiciously tilted paper star. A sign over the refreshment table read, "Fun for all ages," which Bernie read as a threat. At the center of the room moved Donna Ray Mercer, the event coordinator, a widow of 69 with coral lipstick, quick sneakers, and the unstoppable command energy of a woman who could run both a bake sale and a parade without sitting down once. She saw Bernie the way a lighthouse sees weather. "Bernie!" she cried. He stopped instantly. "No," Donna Ray smiled. "You don't even know what I'm asking. I know your tone. That's volunteer tone. Marty, our MC, has lost his voice. He coached a little league game, yelled at an umpire, and now sounds like a moth in a sock drawer. I need someone to step in." Bernie took 1 step backward. "No, you have a clear voice. So does the smoke alarm. You know everybody's names. That is because I live here, not because I enjoy microphones. You sound responsible." Walter, carrying a tray of paper cups, barked a laugh. "That's true. He sounds like the county came to inspect cake." Janice set down a box of napkins and gave Bernie the small, calm smile that meant she had already accepted the inevitable and was waiting for him to catch up. "You'll do fine," she said. That phrase has never improved a single event in recorded history. Donna Ray had already shoved a stack of index cards into his hand. Just open the show, introduce the acts, remind folks where the bathrooms are, and if the balloon arch falls, don't panic. Bernie looked toward the stage, toward the index cards, toward the balloon arch she had casually mentioned, and then toward the open room full of chairs, children's crafts, extension cords, and one clearly unstable cardboard castle prop near the wall. "This room is all panic waiting for a trigger," he said. "Excellent," Donna Ray replied. "Then you're the right man." That was how it happened. Not from ambition, not from secret longing for the stage, from boxes, napkins, and a woman with a clipboard who knew exactly how to trap a practical man by praising his caution in public. By 10 the next morning, Bernie stood behind the side curtain with a handheld microphone, 3 index cards, and the expression of a man awaiting test results. Janice sat in the front row beside Doris, and 2 visiting granddaughters holding paper fans and small bags of kettle corn. The room was packed. Families sat shoulder to shoulder. Children swung their feet from folding chairs. Grandparents fanned themselves. Somebody's grandson already had blue frosting on one eyebrow. The stage lights were brighter than necessary, the speakers were humming, and the balloon arch near the side door leaned with exactly the sort of silent menace Donna Ray had somehow not addressed. Bernie peered through the curtain. "I can still leave," he whispered. Walter, who had wandered backstage under the false pretense of checking the coffee, said, "No, you can't. They've already announced refreshments after the talent hour. Nobody would let you out." Then Donna Ray pushed him gently toward the center. The applause that greeted him was not huge, but it was warm, and that was almost worse. A warm audience invites hope. Bernie took the microphone, cleared his throat, and said, "Good afternoon. I've been told I'm your emergency host," which should give all of you a realistic sense of how the planning has gone. The room broke into laughter immediately. Even Bernie blinked. He had not meant to be funny. He had meant to be honest. Donna Ray pressed both hands together, like a woman hearing her own problem solve itself. Bernie continued, because now retreat felt harder than motion. "Welcome to the Family Fun Showcase. We ask only 3 things this afternoon. Please clap for the children. Please stay clear of the extension cords. And if anything inflatable begins to fail, let an adult with reasonable shoes handle it." The room loved him. This was the first problem. Because people laugh differently when they feel safe with the person talking. They were already leaning in, and Bernie, who had expected indifference and maybe one coughing fit, found himself unexpectedly holding the room's attention like a man holding a ladder he did not trust but could not let go of. The first act was a group of grandchildren singing, "You Are My Sunshine," while one child in overalls committed fully and 2 others forgot most of the moon-related content. Bernie introduced them with, "Please welcome the brave opening team, who are younger than my toaster and significantly better dressed." Laughter, applause. Then came a golden retriever named Daisy, who could allegedly sort toy rings by color, though in practice she mostly chose whichever one was nearest to a treat. Bernie said, "Now we will observe a dog who has the confidence I wish more humans came with." Bigger laugh. Janice looked at Doris and whispered, "He's doing it." Doris whispered back, "Worse, he's enjoying it." Bernie was, in fact, enjoying it. Not cleanly, not joyfully, in the open-throated manner of people born to spotlight. But he had discovered that being dry in a room full of excited people was a kind of music all its own. The acts moved along. A little girl in pink boots did a tumbling routine that ended facing the wrong direction but smiling like a national champion. A boy named Mason played half of Yankee Doodle on the violin before abandoning the official melody for whatever his wrist believed in. Bernie said, "That was either bold innovation or regional history, and we respect both." The room shook with laughter. Then came the magic act. A grandson from Building D, age 11, top hat too large, cape too glittery, and confidence entirely unsupported by rehearsal, stepped up with a deck of cards and a rabbit puppet named Senator Fluff. His name was Tyler. He announced into the microphone, "For my first illusion, I will make this coin disappear." The coin hit the floor. 3 people in the front row immediately leaned down to help. Bernie stepped in with the instincts of a man who had sorted store inventory during Black Friday and said, "No one chase the coin. Let the illusion complete its own journey." The room exploded. Tyler, to his credit, recovered. He pulled a silk scarf from his sleeve, dropped the cards, found the cards, lost the rabbit, found the rabbit under the stool, and somehow ended by producing a chocolate kiss from behind his own ear. It was chaos, but it was joyful chaos. Bernie introduced the applause as if filing a formal commendation. "That young man has invented 3 new genres of magic, and we are grateful." By the time the potato salad contest opened during intermission, the room had fully accepted Bernie as the accidental heart of the day. That was when the second problem began. The potato salad contest was meant to be simple. 4 entries, numbered bowls, blind tasting, audience vote. What could go wrong? In answer to that question, nearly everything. Contestant 1 brought a mustard potato salad with paprika. Contestant 2 brought a version with pickles for brightness. Contestant 3 brought what she called an old German recipe involving vinegar, bacon, and enough onion to notify neighboring counties. Contestant 4, a widower named Stanley, brought a surprising version with chopped boiled eggs, celery, and, disastrously, raisins. The moment Bernie read that description into the microphone, the room split emotionally. "Raisins?" cried Doris. "That's not potato salad, that's a warning," shouted Walter from the back. Stanley, wounded but proud, said, "They soften beautifully." Bernie looked at the bowl, then at the audience, then at Stanley, and said with grave public restraint, "I believe we have crossed from cuisine into testimony." The room lost all remaining composure. Even Stanley laughed, though not without holding his ladle like a defense attorney. The vote should have followed smoothly. Instead, one of the younger grandchildren, holding a paper plate and moving too fast, clipped the corner of the tasting table. The table rocked. Bowl number 2 wobbled, slid, and tipped, just enough to send one majestic scoop of mustard potato salad onto the floor right beside the extension cord running to the punch fountain. Denise, who had been watching from near the cookie trays, made a sound that began as prayer and ended as management. 3 women lunged for napkins. One child shouted, "The yellow one escaped." Bernie, still holding the microphone, said the sentence that later got quoted on the clubhouse bulletin board for a month. "Nobody panic. It's only a low-speed condiment event." People screamed laughing. Walter had to sit down. Janice bent double. Donna Ray herself nearly walked into the balloon arch because she was laughing too hard to manage direction. Bernie, having somehow learned the room by now, used the moment. "Please step back from the potato salad. We will not lose another table to moisture and confusion." The crowd clapped as if this were a state address. The spill was cleaned, the vote resumed, and somehow the whole thing only made the afternoon feel more alive. Yet the true masterpiece of disaster arrived 20 minutes later during the children's closing sing-along. The plan was simple. All visiting grandchildren back on stage for one cheerful group song while the raffle baskets were brought out, and the audience joined in on the chorus. The balloon arch at the side door, which had been leaning all afternoon with increasing philosophical uncertainty, chose that exact moment to make its feelings known. It did not fully collapse. That would have been too ordinary. Instead, as the children began singing "This Land Is Your Land" in several different keys, one side of the arch let go from its tape anchor and drifted sideways with the stately doom of a ship leaving harbor. It brushed the raffle table, caught on the shoulder of a man in suspenders, bounced off the cardboard castle prop, and then slowly bent toward the stage like a giant festive question mark. The audience gasped. The children, as children do, kept singing. Donna Ray leapt toward the arch. Walter moved too. So did a grandson in sandals whose confidence far exceeded his grip. Bernie saw the whole geometry at once. Into the microphone, with the command tone of a man who had finally accepted his role in history, he said, "Children keep singing. Adults with healthy balance, front and center. If you are merely emotional, stay seated." The room erupted again, even as 3 people grabbed the balloon arch and tried to hold it upright without strangling one another in ribbon. The children kept singing. The audience clapped the beat. Bernie, now fully committed to a level of public authority he would have denied possessing that morning, stepped off the stage, tucked the microphone under one arm, and helped guide the arch into a safer angle while still announcing, "Excellent. We are now transitioning from decorative failure into controlled recovery." At this point, there was no chance of dignity surviving intact, which turned out to be liberating. The room was with him completely. People laughed, helped, sang, and passed the tape roll like a sacred object. One little boy shouted, "Mr. Bernie saved America," which no one corrected because it felt proportionate to the mood. The arch was secured, the song ended, the children took their bow, and the applause that followed felt bigger than the room, bigger than the stage, bigger even than the actual event. It was applause for a day that had gone wrong in all the right places and for a man who had walked into it reluctant and come out carrying the whole thing with dry grace and a microphone. When it was finally over and the raffle tickets had been drawn and the cake had been cut and the folding chairs were being stacked, half the room came up to talk to him. "You should host every year. The potato salad line nearly killed me. You sounded like television if television had standards." "I don't even like standards," one man said. "But I liked yours." Donna Ray hugged him before he could object. "You saved the whole afternoon." "No," he said. "The children saved it by not noticing anything." "No," she said. "You made the grown-ups relax enough to laugh." Janice came up last and handed him a paper plate with cake and a fresh cup of coffee. "Well?" she asked. Bernie took the plate, looked at the stage, the balloon arch now tied to a coat rack, the children running across the lawn outside, the women still debating whether raisins had any moral place in potato salad, and the long warm room full of people who had stayed longer than planned because the event had turned into something better than polished. "Well," he said at last, "it appears public foolishness is survivable." Janice smiled. "That's growth." "No," he said, "that's observation. It can be both." By the next morning, the whole community had turned him into folklore. The clubhouse bulletin board featured a handwritten sign that read, "Please respect potato salad boundaries." Someone had taped a little paper microphone beside it. A child's drawing of Bernie under the balloon arch was pinned next to the summer calendar. Walter called him Master of Ceremonial Containment at coffee. Doris said he should issue written guidance on raisins before the next food event. Donna Ray hinted very strongly that she might schedule another showcase sooner while the magic was fresh. Bernie tried to be embarrassed. He failed, mostly because some inconvenient part of him had enjoyed the entire ridiculous thing. Not the spill exactly, not the arch, not the raisin argument, but the room, the energy, the usefulness. The way his own dry, practical mind, usually deployed to grumble quietly from the edge, had somehow made things warmer instead of colder. That evening, after dinner, he and Janice sat on their porch swing with 2 glasses of iced tea, while the Kentucky dusk went soft and blue around the houses. Somewhere down the lane, someone watered petunias with the determination of a person still annoyed by June. The porch light clicked on a little too early, as always. Janice tucked one foot under herself and said, "You know what my favorite part was?" Bernie sighed. There are too many possible answers. No, my favorite part was the moment the arch started falling and you stopped trying to be the man who didn't want to be involved. He looked out at the dark shape of the bird feeder in the yard. That was not a conscious decision. No, she said gently. That's why it mattered. He was quiet a moment. Then he said, "Funny thing is, once things got messy enough, I quit worrying about preserving myself." Janice nodded. "Yes. And then it got easier." "Yes. I don't entirely enjoy that lesson." "Of course you don't. It means you were wrong." He smiled in spite of himself. "I dislike how comfortable you are saying that." "That's because I've earned it." Another minute passed in the soft porch dark. Then Bernie said, "You know, it's not so different from skin." Janice turned and laughed before he even finished. "No, absolutely not. We are not connecting blackheads to a runaway balloon arch and potato salad." "Why not? Same principle. People see a little problem. They squeeze, scrub, overdo, overreact, make it worse. Better to be gentle, steady, and stop before it turns into a microphone situation." Janice laughed so hard she had to wipe her eyes. "That is one of the worst correct things you've ever said." "Still correct." "Annoyingly, yes. And maybe that is the real connection between preventing blackheads and getting through ordinary life without exhausting yourself. Not every little flaw needs to be attacked. Not every irritation improves under pressure. Not every small mess requires a bigger reaction, just because it feels urgent in the moment. Sometimes, the wiser answer is gentler, slower, steadier, and less dramatic. Clean what needs cleaning. Reduce the friction. Keep the routine simple. Do enough, and then stop. And if the potato salad still slides, if the arch still leans, if the room still laughs and the microphone is still in your hand, then laugh too, and let the thing become a story instead of a wound. Bernard Holloway never became carefree in any permanent or saintly sense. He still distrusted wireless microphones, still believed extension cords should be treated like loaded opinions, and still maintained that raisins had no home in anything calling itself potato salad. But after the summer, he accidentally became the emergency master of ceremonies for Cedar Hill Village, and discovered that public silliness was survivable, even useful, and occasionally the exact thing a room needed. He carried his dignity a little looser, his wife's laughter a little more gratefully, and his own urge to overmanage with much less authority than before. For a man like Bernie, that was real progress, and for Cedar Hill it was even better, because it became one of those stories older Americans tell over coffee, cake, paper plates, folding chairs, and warm evenings. A story about marriage, community, embarrassment, laughter, and the comforting truth that people can still surprise themselves long after they think every useful part of them has already been labeled, sorted, and put away for good.